Shalom, shalom wa ahaba, mishpachah, shalom wa ahaba. Peace and love, family, peace and love. I want to say shalom to the whole house of Yisrael, all 12 tribes scattered throughout the four corners of the earth, to wherever we've been driven to the lands of our captivity. I also want to say shalom to the sojourners, the Gentiles, and the foreigners, and all those who give thanks, honor, and praises to the Elohim, or God of the Bible, and his only begotten Son, Yahushua HaMashiach, to whom many of you refer to as Christ. Hallelujah. Mishpachah, I want to take a quick moment to ask you all a question um, about whether or not you suffer from ethnic idolatry. And the reason why I asked you all that question, because this is something that at one point in time in my life, I believe I suffered from. You know, I come from a pro-black background. And in my younger years, it was all black everything. You understand what I'm saying, Miss Picard? I mean, black car, black cold clothes. The only thing I couldn't have was a black card because I wasn't that rich. You understand that, Miss Picard? But there's a time when you realize, are you idolizing your blackness? And this is, I almost feel like it's daggone near a curse that comes out of the black conscious community, because many of our people in our so-called churches, synagogues, and our so-called mosque, they teach more about blackness than they do about the worship of the Elohim, or God of the Bible, and his only begotten Son. Hallelujah. And that has us shooting ourselves in the foot in many ways, especially with the fact that our enemies have figured out that we suffer from a, a, a symptom or a disease, called ethnic idolatry. And I believe all ethnicities or races of people suffer from this, because I believe so-called white people are going to deal with their symptoms or their elements of ethnic idolatry when they come to terms and realize the truth of what men like Elon Musk and other so-called white folks or Gentiles out there saying about the fact, that Yahushua Hamashiach, to whom the world calls Jesus Christ, was what we would call today a black man. You understand that, Mishpachah? They're going to have to deal with their ethnic idolatry when they have to give up so-called white Jesus. But right now we're talking about us and our community and how idolatry. And what is idolatry? First of all, before we get into ethnic idolatry and how this goes against the ways of the Most High, let's do a little bit of word search. And what is idolatry? Idolatry is the worship of a person or thing as if it were a deity, or if it were a god. In Abrahamic religions, to whom I would say 85% of so-called black folks and Negroes belong to, in Abrahamic religions, idolatry is the worship of anything or anyone other than the Abrahamic God as if it were God. You understand that, Mishpachah? Now, do many of us worship our ethnicity over God, Mishpachah? And when does the Elohim, or God of the Bible, tells us that this is a violation? He tells us in the beginning, and when he gave Moshe, who we call Moses, when he started laying down the Torah to him, he gave him 10 commandments as the foundation of the 613 that ended up developing throughout the Torah. And on Exodus, or Shemot more commonly known as Exodus chapter 20, verses 3 through 6, it says, "You have no other mighty ones against my face. You have no other gods before me." So Yahuwah Zabaoth, Yahuwah, Lord of the heavenly armies, is the only God you're supposed to have. "You do not make for yourself a carved image or an idol, or any likeness of that which is in the Shamayim, the heavens above, or which is in the earth beneath, or which is in the waters under the earth. You do not bow down to them, nor serve them. For I, Yahuwah, your Elohim, am a jealous El, visiting the wickedness of the fathers on the children to the third and fourth generation of those who hate me, but showing kindness to those, but showing kindness, Slikah Salakli, but showing kindness to thousands to those who love me and guard my commands." You understand, Mishpachah? So you ain't supposed to be bowing down or worshiping nothing but the Most High. Hallelujah. So how do we come to terms with the fact that many of us ignore, those of us who are Bible believers and those of us of the Abrahamic faith, that we ignored what we saw and still supported this Negro when he came out like this with a LGBTQ, a lettuce, bacon, guacamole, and tomato halo over his head in Newsweek with a caption that said, the first gay president, Mr. Picard. The first gay president. And we looked the other way. I believe that there, 2012 or something like that. And people still out there talking about supporting Barack Obama when the scriptures clearly tell us, thou shalt not sleep with mankind as you sleep with womankind. You understand? The Bible and the scriptures are strictly against that alternative lifestyle. But rather than going with the Most High, you go against what the Most High is saying and support this Negro just because he was black. See what I'm saying, Mr. Picard? So do you worship the Elohim or God of the Bible, or do you worship your blackness? See what I'm saying? Same thing with Kamala Hills Up Harris. You understand? You told your community, many of our people, not you particularly, but I'm talking to the whole of the community, told us to go and vote for this witch just because she was the so-called black person, which I disagree with, but I'm just speaking in general terms. See what I'm saying? For the context of the conversation. You said we should vote for this witch who was all about the lettuce, bacon, guacamole, tomato, cucumber, and everything else. Who was all about murdering children in the womb. You know what I'm saying? You told us to go against what the Most High is telling us when he told us in Jeremiah he knew us before he formed us in the womb. You see what I'm saying? And that we are not to be with the same sex sexually. And we go against that on the account of being black. See what I'm saying? So exactly what are you worshiping when you have that kind of train or line of thought, Mishpachah? Are we worshiping the Most High Elohim God of the Bible, or are we worshiping blackness? You see what I'm saying? Because worshiping that blackness will have you supporting black people who are doing the works of your enemies, both spiritual enemies and physical enemies. You understand that, Mishpachah? So we have to come out of this spell of ethnic idolatry. And for all of those out there who preach the pro-blackity, blackity, blackity, black, you understand that, Mishpachah? That right there is going to end up pushing you to shoot yourself in the foot over and over and over again and have us walking backwards. Because our enemies have figured this out and they put black people in front of us that are no good for us. You understand that? And it's going to go down in history that the first so-called black president, this hybrid Negro, Barack Hussein Obama, who I believe birth name or real name is probably Barry Soetoro, is also going to be the first sodomite president, the first gay president. And because many of our people worship their ethnicity and worship blackness more than they worship the word of the Most High, they're going to fall on the wrong side of history, Mishpachah. And with that, I'm going to go ahead and get out of here. And always remember to keep the fire burning. A little more oil in my lungs. Hallelujah, Mishpachah. Keep your eyes open. Stay prepared so that you don't have to get prepared. And remember that your redemption is near. Until we meet again, Mishpachah. Kumar, Yisrael. Kam, Yasha'Allah. Rise, Israel. Shalom, Shalom. Salama, Mishpachah. Hallelujah.